goes, you might be a millionaire in like 10 minutes, right? And I was
Oh,
like,
wow.
what? We were very, very aggressive with how we played this game. And I think that's what made us what we were. It's about to get freaking wild.
What's up, everyone? It's Ava and Ivy, and welcome back to another podcast episode covering Beast Games Season 2. Today, obviously, we have a very special guest who probably doesn't need an introduction at this point, but we have someone who's been offered $1 million not once, but twice now in Season 2, and's turned it down, well, supposedly once. We don't know. But please welcome Nick, Player 118, to the podcast. Say hi, Nick.
What up, guys? Thank you for having me. This is really cool. It's been a lot of people commenting, saying stuff. Everyone's going to find out on Wednesday. So
yeah, we can't wait to find out what your ultimate decision was. But obviously, we kind of want to break down your gameplay so far up to episode 7. And we do see the show dove quite a bit into your past and background a little bit over the past 7 episodes. But do you want to give the audience a little rundown on your background, your career, and maybe anything Beast Games hasn't highlighted yet?
So basically, I'm from New York. I grew up playing football my entire life. I played football from 6 years old all the way through college. I left college to pursue my dreams of being a professional wrestler. In 2018, I packed my car up, I moved across the country, and I've been chasing my dreams ever since. It's been a long road. As you guys can see from the episode, I've been in my car. I've had apartments where I've had to give up my room and stay on the floor of the living room. I've done the whole nine. I've been all over this country, couch surfing, just trying to make my dreams a reality. And it's been a long, crazy road. I was at a super low point right before the games, and it's the biggest blessing in my life. I got the call to be on Beast Games, and I took it and ran with it. And this is all so surreal to me that I'm a part of this. And yeah,
Beast Games is definitely a life-changing experience, I'll say the least. Even coming from us, like obviously we don't know your outcome, but coming from us who won $0 still changed our life. So either way, it's a blessing for sure.
Yeah, it's nuts because like I like talked about it a little bit on the show and they showed it a little bit, but like my mom was so obsessed with like the first season, and I loved it. We watched it religiously as the first season like rolled out, and I just specifically like one of the times I'm like sitting there and I'm like, I said I'm gonna be on this show someday, and it happened. Like I said, if they ever come out with another season, I'm gonna do it. And like to do that, then make it to the top 10, it's such like a prestigious like thing in Beast Games to be in the top 10, and here we are. So it's like it's crazy. And at this point in time in these episodes, it like hasn't even set in for me. So yeah, it's been a wild ride.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. I can't imagine like watching the show and then you kind of know the craziness of Beast Games and now you're living it. So did that play a role in like, I guess getting in talking about the episodes and stuff? So did you have a strategy going into the game, and have we seen that strategy play out so far in the episodes, would you say?
I gotta be honest, like I know a lot of people, they thought that they were gonna go to the games, they're gonna try to be fake super nice to people, they were gonna get people to trust them, and then they were gonna try to screw them over and hit the button or whatever the case was. As soon as I got there, I seen a lot of people doing that, and I was like, that's ridiculous. Like you could see the phoniness in a lot of people and the people that are very camera hungry and stuff like that. So I just said to myself, I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna be myself. And I naturally had people gravitate towards me. And it's all the people that are with me still in the episodes. We're in the top 10. I have my team with me still. And it's just because I've been myself the whole time. And that was just my strategy. Go out there. I realized too, like at some point in time, you're going to need somebody in Beast Games. You can't do it alone. You need to have a team. You need to have like a solid foundation of people that support you, because the social games, if it comes down to votes, as you can see, I got picked to be a captain first for Split or Steal because I had that credit with people, because I was myself and I was a good person to people. So yeah, that's really it. I decided to just be me, and it was respected amongst my peers. And I think that's the biggest thing in Beast Games.
Yeah, for sure. And what was your like main motivation going in? Were you going in more for the money aspect, or did you just want to make it as far as possible?
So it's both. Of course, I wanted I wanted a lot of money, and I like, it's such a crazy thing to like go there and go, I could get out the first day, not even on my doing. It could be somebody that slaps a button down a row from me and eliminates the whole row, something like that. And so, I mean, I'm going in with the idea of, yeah, I'm a competitor. I'm playing to win. I want to go all the way to the end, and I want to capitalize on whatever I can. For me, just getting there and seeing that it wasn't like season one where there's somebody in my row that could do that to me, and it was basically just on me. You earn your keep this season. I felt a lot better. And then as the competitions rolled out, I think after dodgeball, in the second episode is when I was like, yo, yeah, let's do this. We're making a run at this. Like, no one's gonna stop me, and they're gonna have to like do it. So yeah, so on and so forth between obstacle course and then captain's bribe, surprisingly, is like the easiest challenge for me. I like, my heart didn't even skip a beat up there, because it's one of those things that you gotta kind of know what you're gonna do before you go up there. And I knew that I made a promise to Tyler, I made a promise to August, Catey, and Jack, and I knew it wasn't mine to take, and I knew the money was gonna get taken. So yeah, you just got to stay true to yourself and just go after it. I wanted to play to win. I wanted to make it to the end.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. It's so cool hearing about, like, going in there for the full experience and, doing everything you can. 'Cause, yeah, no, we definitely relate to that. We tried our best in season one. But
Yeah.
um I guess circling back a little bit more to your people that you found in the game. We see that obviously it forms pretty early on, like your alliance, and you're kind of like the kingpin of it all, you could say. Um, did you expect to find a core four like that? And what do you think made your bond so strong?
I think it was really crazy to me, guys. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you right now. I'm like, dude, I'm a guy from Troy, New York, not the best area. I'm like, all these people believe in me. This is crazy. And that's why, even more so, I was like, I cannot let these people down. And I think we bonded so closely because I kind of put everything out there. I said, yo, this is who I am. This is what I do. I'm a grinder. I go after it. I've had certain opportunities on the table for myself before where I was asked to do things that I didn't want to do. And I just stood on my beliefs and continued to be myself, whether it put me in a little bit of a waiting period for the things that I wanted in life. I did what I believed was right, and I'll always stay true to myself. I've always been that way, and I kind of explained that to everybody. So that's why everyone kind of looked at me as the leader aspect of it, everything. But we all had common interests. I told everybody, I want to make it to the end of this thing. If you guys want to be with me, let's do it. Let's get to the end. But I'm going to tell you this right now. Once we get to a certain point, I'll look at you guys. I won't undercut you guys. I'm not going to lie to you. But when it gets to the point where we got to play against each other, I'm going to be like, all right, let's run it. We're playing now. But we're going to need each other until then. You guys agree? Everyone agreed. And we've been rocking it ever since. Like, that was that little interaction where you see Jack walking up to us and growling. That was the second day we were in the city, but we were
I
already
bet.
cool. We were already cool with Jack before that, but that was just like the second day after Jimmy's already put off the 24-hour timer to eliminate half the people, and we're just sitting on the turf, and everyone's just talking, and they're like, "Yo, that's why I already knew I was going to be a captain for that at the towers if it ever were to happen." We didn't know if that was going to happen, but they were like, "Yo, if it is," they're like, "You're the guy." So I was like, yeah, man, I got you guys.
So did you like expect to find a group that early on in the games?
No, I mean, you realize coming into Beast Games, you're going to be with people from all different walks of life, and you just have no clue how it's going to pan out for you. And alls I could say is, I mean, God put me in the right place at the right time, and all these people were on the same floor as me in Vegas. So you're not interacting with anybody else. Like, all the people that were on my floor are the people that we're lining up with while we're not supposed to be talking, going to get food. And so we're around each other. Of course, people are going to whisper. Of course, people are going to talk. Those connections are forming. And it's just, we got lucky. We got really, really lucky because things could have panned out differently if I wasn't around them from the get-go. And yeah, I think luck plays such a huge role into the people that you connect with in the games, because you're losing people constantly along the way, and anything could have happened.
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely luck that goes into a game like Beast Games for sure. So, kind of talking about that formation of your alliance and going back to the captain bribe, I remember a moment from the family visit where it almost looked like you felt nervous to tell your family that you turned down $1 million. Why was that? Like, did you think they were gonna be upset with you for doing that?
I just felt really, really bad just because I know how much that money would mean to me and how much it would help my family and stuff. I've watched my mom my entire life really, really work so hard just to make ends meet and be able to support me in everything and anything that I do. And I mean, it's not even there was no regret at all to not do that. I knew that night that I did the right thing for all my friends. But I just I don't know, you're always gonna think that's a lot of money that would be able to change this and that and whatever. So I just wanted to tell my mom and just see what she thought about everything. I didn't necessarily think that she would be mad. I just didn't want her to ever at any point in life like be disappointed. And I wanted to explain the reasonings why I did it because everyone has, I'm not going to say my mom, but like everybody that's not in Beast Games, everyone that's never stepped foot in the competition always has this perception that everyone that you're with is a stranger. Time slows down when you're in there and you're with these people, living with them, talking to them. You have no phones. You build these connections. You you know everyone's family, what they got going on at home, how they were brought up. And the bond that I've made with these people on this show, and I have some good friends that I've been friends with for a long time, since high school, since childhood. The bonds that I've made with these people on this show are probably stronger than those bonds. And I've spent more time with these people than I have with some of my best friends the last, I don't know, 15 years of my life. So I try I was trying to really explain why and trying to give some context on like these are not strangers. These are people that I care about. These are people that I'm going to continue to be friends with long after this. And I made a sacrifice. And again, just like anything in my life, I stand on it. That's what I chose. And I'm glad that I did it.
Yeah, and yeah, B Teams is such a unique environment in so many aspects with no phones. You literally have no alone time. Like you're
Yeah.
bunking with these people and spending 24/7 with them. People don't realize how much downtime you have between challenges and like how many days you're just doing nothing but getting to know
Yeah.
each other. And in a way, it's also like an environment where it's almost easier to open up to someone that is a complete stranger because they don't know anything about your outside life. They don't know like the drama surrounding your life or anything. So in a way, it's kind of being able to connect with someone without having outside influences. And I don't
Yep.
know, it's just a great
Yeah.
environment to be in and an environment that not many people will ever experience in their life, like
Yeah.
especially regarding like having no phones and stuff like that. It's crazy to live. So
Yeah. No, it for sure is. And like I've had to tell people too, I don't know if it was like this for like you guys, but with the schedule too, filming all night, stuff like that. Like it just blends your days together so insane and saying that like every day feels like a week, but like
Yeah.
not in a bad way where it's like, oh, we're in like a prison. It's like in a way where everything's so blended that it's like, oh, did we do this yesterday? Oh my gosh, that was 3 days ago. Or my gosh, that was that was earlier today. What is going on? Like it's like the time warps so much because a lot of the viewers don't know at home either. You don't know what day it is, you don't know what time it is, and you're not allowed to. So like it all is just like you just feel like you're there for such a long time. And that's a good thing. It's a good thing. And closer bonds, you know what people's intentions are for the most part.
Yeah, no, I feel like Beast Games kind of puts you in a trance in a way where you almost forget, like, oh, there was life before this and there's life after this. Like, it
Yeah.
almost feels like these people have been in your world forever. And I don't think anybody will experience it unless you've been in that situation.
Yeah.
Definitely a crazy mind warp. I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit into the Red Cubes episode. So we talked to Vance already regarding your Red Cube, but we want to hear about your thought process and why you ended up doing a voting game and how confident you really were that it would be Vance going home.
So this is no hate to Vance. Like we seriously like we love Vance and we want to stay friends with Vance. We just kind of got word that when we were coming back from the island, Vance wasn't too happy and he was talking about wanting to self-eliminate. So we kind of were like, maybe we could just convince him to leave. Because, like, clearly Vance has done really well for himself on other shows. And he's not struggling at all when it comes to anything financially because of that. And I'm a guy that is. And then August is a guy that's new to this and wants to be on the show. So we're like, yeah, maybe we could just convince him. We didn't go in there with any sort of game plan. That was all kind of on the fly. And we kind of just fell into the voting game because we knew that if we could get Vance to agree to the questions, because Vance is probably thinking, who's the most financially stable one? He's going to think himself because he's the one with the most money already. Who has the most skill? He's going to think himself because he's won a competition show, a physical competition show twice already. Who is the nicest? Vance was kind of not as loud as me in August, so he might think he's the nicest. But we kind of just tricked him because we're thinking he's just going to think that they're going to vote being honest, but they're just going to vote for the people that they want to stay. And I was shocked that it worked. And I said, that's all August. I had nothing to do with that. I'm thinking, dude, it's going to get to a point where we're going to have to just flip a coin or something because Vance was pretty adamant about not leaving. I wasn't going anywhere. And August, I mean, he's the same way. So I'm really, really happy that it ended up being that way. I know Vance is going to be fine. He's a good dude. He's already got a ton of money. And I mean, that doesn't bother me that he had to go. I like the dude. I want to be friends with the dude, but we had to do what we had to do. The cubes is brutal, as everybody knows, and we survived the cubes. So that's all it is on that. No hate, and I hope Vance is cool with everything. Like, I've reached out to him. He said that we're cool, but I don't really know. Well, I hope he is good with everything.
Yeah, I mean, on the podcast, he seemed pretty content with the way things rolled out. I mean, he said that you guys are good, so that's as much as we know. But it's pretty evident that you and August are pretty big gamers, and maybe the two biggest gamers of the season, at least from what we see so far. You know, we see you in the cubes, and then we see you in the memory game, and we see how August kind of had a plan to ultimately get you across, which I do want to talk about. But was, like, you guys being strategic kind of obvious to other players? Like, did people see how you were moving as a threat? I kind of assume not, considering you were constantly getting picked as captain. Like, how did that look in B City?
So, along with me being who I am to everybody, I got a lot of social credit with that. But I know early on, so many people wanted to take us out. And we were just the group that was like, all right, I mean, you could try, but we're going to go down swinging if we do. So we were very, very aggressive with how we played this game. And I think that's what made us what we were, and like going after these challenges and stuff like that. But also, too, we didn't do it to be fake. We kept everybody kind of involved because you know that you're going to run into things where you're going to need people. And we made the right connections with the right people that were good at certain things. And then when we had to step up to the plate, just like I said, big time players make big time plays in big time games. We did that. Whether it was me, Tyler, August, Jack, Catey, until she wasn't there, we stepped up to the plate when we needed to. And that's what you got to do in Beast games. I've seen too many people freeze up right before Jimmy says go. You can't do that. We're playing for $5 million. We're playing for generational money. We're playing to change our lives, our families' lives, and you can't freeze up. You got to step up to the plate. The lights will never be too bright, especially for our group. And we just made stuff happen.
That's awesome. So I guess following with that, did you and August have like any strategy going into the SMART challenge then?
We had a plan because of certain things that were being said between me, Tyler, and August, and Jack. Hannah and Catey with a K were actually kind of involved too. So it's not shown as much, but I was looking at them, and when I went third, I said, I'm going to go. And I told them three, I said to the three smarts, I said, pay attention to those back rows. Monika needs to tell me the truth, but I'm going to double check with you guys. Pay attention to those back rows. I said, I got this. I looked at them, and that's why, like, at the end of Katie's run, Tyler was like, he's like, because she was getting pretty far, and we're like, okay, it's getting to the point where we're kind of got to throw her off a little bit. So Catey gets thrown off, and we knew that one of the boys had to win. It was going to get dicey if one of us didn't win, it would have kind of got dicey. And we think that maybe Monika could have been persuaded into eliminating some of the boys because of whatever reason. And in return, I'm thinking that's going to be bad for me if some of my friends are gone. That drops my numbers tremendously, and I can't have that. So we got to put our squad we got to put our squad on the map with this one. And yeah, I let go of the button. I didn't let the pattern stay up very long. You only get 10 seconds anyways, but I know that Briley and Strongman Tyler, they saw the writing on the wall and they know that they had to make a move. So I let the pattern pop up and I let go like immediately. And I knew what I knew. And I go, I could get up the wall, I could get across, especially with the help. If I get any problems going across, I could look at Tyler. He's a really smart guy. I could look at Auguste and Jack. I could get across and I could get up the wall. And if I get to the other wall, I know I got to go up 4 blocks. I knew that. And I was like, there's only 2 rows left to Monika if I could get up there. Boom, I'm tunnel vision, go. And they're delaying the lights. So I'm like, and you got to know what you're doing on that grid. It's so far, but like if you look around at all, like if you break off that concentration, you will lose the pattern. It's so weird when you're down there on the grid. So yeah, I was just going and they're like, slow down. And I'm like, nah, I got to go now because I know what I know and I got to get as far as I possibly can. And hopefully if I don't make it across, one of you guys can and really like get it done. So we get to the wall and that's when I was like, all right, let's play. And we get up 4 and you could even hear Tyler in the episode, Strongman Tyler go, I think it's 1 more because they knew what was up. And then Monika clutched up. She knew that she had to tell me the truth. And I give all the thanks to her for doing that. But I think it's funny. A guy that looks like me wins the smart challenge in Beast Games. And the funniest part about the whole thing is that when we were in the pod the night before, all the guys were joking around and they're like, how funny would it be if Nick is the one that won the smart challenge? And I looked at them and I was like, hey, I don't know. And then it happens the next night. It was insane. But our plan was just to have one of the boys win because we had to make sure that somebody really strong was up there with Monika, and we didn't want one of the girls to go up there and talk about an all girls alliance or having a pact or anything like that. And again, too, I want to clarify this too for the audience at home and you guys and all that stuff. The guys never sat around once and said, we want to make sure it's all boys here. We got to get all the girls out. We never did that. I think Briley had that weird perception that was the case. She wanted it to be all girls. We just wanted the people there that we liked to be there. And it wasn't, we liked some of the girls. So we were like, what are you talking about? We just wanted that one alliance gone clearly. And then the information with Catey was kind of bugging me and a few others. So we had to do what we had to do, and it played out as it did.
So how confident were you, like, towards the end in Monika giving you the true, like, path? Were you for sure that you were going to make it?
I knew she had to tell me the truth because it would have been bad for Jim and it would have been really bad for her if she didn't. Because if Monika lied to me, she knows I have 5 other dudes that are game players, and that wouldn't look too good for her going forward. And she wouldn't be trusted. So I knew it. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I guess then now you win the smart challenge, and now the responsibility is on you and Monika to eliminate 3 people. What was your thought process behind choosing? And was there anything that was discussed when it came making the decision that maybe like wasn't shown?
The decision was already made before the strong game. Like, well, I looked at Monika when we were up on that pole and I go, you have to win this game, Monika. I was like, it's not even a question. You're the only one that can do it. You have to win this game. So she wins that. I win smart challenge. And we kind of get that 24-hour grace period where people got to state their cases to us of why they should stay. And the hardest thing to do is look people in the eye, knowing I'm going to look you in the eye and smash your heart in 24 hours and tell them, yeah, I don't know yet. I don't know. So Briley came up to me. Strongman Tyler came up to me with the absolute worst pitch of all time, telling me that he was going to undercut me in the smart challenge, talking crap about my other friend, Tyler. So yeah, I was like, that's a really bad pitch. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. I got to talk to Monika and stuff like that. It's really hard, regardless if you like the people or not, if you're going to go look them in the eye and you're going to take the chance away from them just because you say so. It's a really, really hard thing to do. And we had to break from that. We come back. They all go line up at their hearts. And I just looked at Monika and I'm like, yo, I got you up there. Like, this is going to be tough, especially the last one. So I got you. Don't worry. I know Monika wanted me to smash all 3 hearts and I was down to do it. I told Jimmy, I was like, if she's not comfortable with it, I'll take it. I'll do it. And they're like, nah, we got to have her do 1. So she did Briley's. I did the next 2. And yeah, we looked at Briley. We agreed. let's do it. Tyler, same thing. The hard one was Catey, because Catey was so close to me and she was in my alliance from day one. She was somebody that I met in Vegas, but I don't know if you guys have watched Auguste's podcast or not, but it turns out I was even lied to amongst inner circle stuff, where Jack was kind of playing it up a little bit more than it actually was, of Catey wanting to take me out. And yeah, I don't know. I was trying to protect myself. I think I expressed that well enough when I was giving my reasonings for doing what I did. But yeah, it gets really, really dicey at the end of the games, and you want people there that you know you could trust. And if you catch everything you say and do affects you, and if you catch word that someone may potentially be trying to trick you, I wasn't going to let that happen. I was like, I can't go home with nothing. There's no way we're not doing that.
Right. And we talked to Jack yesterday a little bit. He talked to us about Operation CBT. He talked to us about the rumor that he kind of started about Catey. So I think, yeah, obviously that did have an influence on leaning toward Catey.
Yeah.
And so when you were deciding on her for the final choice, was there anyone else where you were considering choosing them to go home, or was it just solid on Catey?
At
the whole
that
time?
point, no, but I think if me and Catey had the right conversations and we had a little bit of transparency, I think that I could have saved her, and I think that would have fell on somebody else. I don't want to name names, but like there were certain people that were a little less involved with everybody there, and they didn't do anything wrong, but they were not playing the game, I would say, by trying to make the real connections and stuff like that. There were certain people there that I feel like were potentially just saying what people wanted to hear to all groups to kind of just float around and stuff. I mean, in a way, okay, I guess that is playing the game, but I don't know. It's very, very interesting. It's weird, but can't live in hindsight. Can't take any of that stuff back. It's what happened to Catey. It sucks. I wish I could have saved her. I wish we had those conversations, but yeah, we're still cool with each other. We got a lot of love for each other and the whole group. So we're all pretty close.
And
That's
so I just want to point out, like, when you said you felt a distance between you two, was that because of the rumor that Jack started, or was there something else there that happened?
Yeah. The rumor that Jack started played a huge role in that, a huge role. I know Monika said that she was having talks with Catey in the bunks too, and Catey was saying that she would never go in she would, if she got put in the cube with me, she would refuse to play a fair game, stuff like that. And I was just like, okay, well then if I need you in the future to count on you to be fair with me, you're not going to be in the benefit of yourself. So it all tied into each other. I think that, like, maybe we should have just talked. I don't know. It's so crazy. And everything happened so fast. I didn't know that August told her to basically stay away from me, and that maybe deterred her from coming to even start those conversations, because I wasn't going to go up and start the conversations with her. I was the one in power, and I felt like she needed to come up to me and be like, "Yo, I'm sorry for whatever has been going on and stuff like that, and whatever's being talked about when you got back from the island." And those things just never happened. And again, I wasn't aware that August was like kind of give him his space and all that stuff too. And August is no saint. August is no saint. He was coming up to me saying some stuff too and cracking jokes, and I had to calm him down and be like, dude, don't do that, man, because I didn't know what they were going to show, and I didn't want it to look bad or have a crazy situation play out on screen. That wasn't the case, because I felt bad. I felt bad. I did not want to have to do that to her, but again, it just played out the way that it did.
Yeah. And it just sucks, like, from her point of view, obviously. I mean, from what Jack told us, like, about Operation CBT, and basically everyone knew that it was going to be her except her. That just sucks, like, being in that type of position.
Yeah.
And so my question is, following up with that, did Catey ever feel like an outlier of your, like, obstacle course alliance group just because of, like, I don't know, you had better connections with other people, or no?
No. Catey was like ridiculously close to me, August, Jack, Tyler. So to me, the craziest thing is there was no ranking system. There was never a ranking system. It was just, we are the closest group. I loved them all equally. Like, there was no, you're my one out of the whatever. I loved the squad, and I would have done anything for them, clearly forfeiting as much money as I did for them. But yeah, there was no ranking system. There was no Catey feeling outside or anything like that. That's why it kind of like threw me off when basically the conversations with the girls were getting a little more like active and being like, let's form a girls alliance, let's have a pact and stuff like that. And we're sitting there looking out the window going, Catey, what are you doing? What are you doing? We've been so strong this whole time. Like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I said before, though, people start to like kind of panic at the end of the games because you are at the dance and things are about to get crazy. People that you know really, really well are about to get sent home. And she was, I guess, just trying to check all boxes and make sure that she was safe. And in return, it's the thing that made her not safe. So it really, really sucks. I really think she could have coasted into the top 10 with absolutely no issues if she was just kind of telling us the conversations that were being had that were kind of bad for the group and stuff like that. But again, it sucks. I really wish that she was there in the 10, but can't go back.
Yeah, no, 100%. But that's so interesting to hear, stuff like we didn't really see and get more context for. And so now we know the hearts are smashed. Let's talk about the most recent episode now. So you had talked about how you felt, equally towards everybody in your alliance. In the episode, Tyler stated that you're his number one in the game. Did you feel the same, or was there truly a number one?
Yeah, I think at that point in time, Tyler was mine too. I mean, and for the towers, as you guys could see, my promise to Tyler was the promise that meant the absolute most to me. We had heart to hearts all the time. He's one of my closest friends, and he's got his two little baby boys at home. And I know that being in the military, he's been working so hard, and I just wanted to give him a chance to compete and some money for him and his family so he could be like super, super like comfortable with that and have all the time that he could ask for. And yeah, I wanted to help him by any means. Like he told me that he would do anything to help me, and I had the same exact respect for him, and I would have done anything for him. So I don't know. I love the dude, man. I can't believe still to this day, like we talk every day on the phone. I can't believe the friends that I made from this television show. It's like, it's the weirdest thing ever. And like I said earlier in the podcast, like I have such a strong bond with these people, more so than people that I've known my whole entire life because of the things that we've been through. And we're still every single week now watching it play out. And it's been 6 months of this not saying anything to watching it play out and reliving everything, and it just brings back feelings and the nostalgia of everything. I think that I'll be friends with Tyler for the rest of my life, as I will with everybody else. Made a lot of friends. This is crazy.
Yeah, and that's why we love doing these podcasts and talking to contestants, because, people don't see that side of the TV show, and that's why we like to bring light to it. You don't realize how close these people get. And yeah, I mean, we even see it in last season, I guess an example would be Patrick. He didn't get voted into the finale, but he's still close as ever with everyone that was in the top 10. And I think top 10 really does have a very, very deep bond, because it's a very slim number of people that have experienced exactly what you've done, and there's no one else that you can really talk to about it. So I think that definitely deepens your bond there for sure.
Yeah, and it's crazy too, because like I don't even know Patrick, and Patrick, we talk all the time, and it's like there's just a certain connection and understanding that he has that so many people don't. And like Jeff, like he gets put in our games. Me and Jeff talk every day on the phone, if not every other day on the phone. And to me, it's like, I was such a huge fan of Jeff. I was such a huge fan of season one. How did I make these bonds? And I did. And then now I'm in the top 10, and I have people from the previous top 10. Beans hit me up. I've talked to Emma. I've talked to Yessie. Like they've all talked to me, and there's like a thing that you don't even have to say. It's like, yo, we get it. And like, I have love for these people that are in the Beast family that I've never physically met, but I know that if I were to talk to them in real life, it would be just picking up kind of like easily. Like we would just be chatting. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
This is such a cool experience, and I'm so grateful for the Beast team from top to bottom. It's insane.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess kind of going into the family visit too, that meeting everyone's family in top 10, that deepened your bond too. And so when you had your moment with your family, one, how long was the family visit? And two, when you saw your family, did that kind of switch a mindset to you where it's like, okay, now I need to lock in and do what's best for myself? Or were you still prioritizing those friendships that you've built in the games?
So it was nuts. Having my mom and my sister come to the city was nuts, especially my mom because I know how much of a fan she is. And but you see Corey's kids, Tyler's kids, everybody's mom, August's wife and parents. It's like it's the wildest thing, and it definitely like puts things in perspective. Like, yeah, we all got our families, we all got our people rooting for us, and I think that they were there. Don't quote me on this. It may have been 2 hours, but it felt like 30 minutes. I know it was longer than 30 minutes. They had to set up the dinner. We had the dinner. We ate. They got gifted phones and T-Mobile. It was awesome. But yeah, when they left, it was definitely like, wow, yeah, I'm recharged. Let's go. That's exactly what I needed because at that point in time, it's been well over a month that we have had no connection with the outside world. And it was just super rewarding to be able to live that. And I think it brought the top 10 closer, to be completely honest with you, because we were all like, yo, this is nuts, man. Like our families were all just here. I think we were all that night, we were all so happy in the bunks. And it was awesome. With that being said, though, we knew that there was still work to be done. 10 isn't 5, and I was like, yeah, we got to have each other's backs until we decide to play this game. Like that's just the way it plays out in my head, anyway. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how things play out. We'll see how much money I take. We'll see how much other people may get to or not get to take. It's about to get really crazy. I think that the family episode is going to be the more chill episode out of the next 3, obviously. So yeah, it's about to get freaking wild.
Dang. Okay. That's good to know. That's exciting to look forward to. But
Yeah.
okay, I have to ask though, so you're experiencing this happy moment with the top 10 and you're seeing your family and everything's great, but did it ever like dawn on you like, oh, something bad's about to happen? Like this is too good to be true.
No. If anything, I'm like, I don't know what the Beast team was thinking. I was like, I don't know. They may have like, they should have probably not done that. I was like, because we're like close, and I think they knew that. They were like, how are we ever going to get any of them to be greedy or anything like that? But of course, they're always 10 steps ahead on anything. So lighting our torches then the next day, and I'm thinking we might not even be competing right now. This is probably just B-roll, and then tomorrow we'll go to like a set and do something. Like we're lighting torches, just walking out the gate. No, we walk out the gate with lit torches, turn to our left, and see a massive graveyard, and there's just lights and fog and tombstones, and we didn't even see the coffins yet, and we're just walking in a single file line like, oh, hey, like, what are we doing? And then boom, we see the coffins, and it's just like, there's no telling what we're going to do. We're all thinking, oh, maybe last to leave. Maybe we're going to go in there and it's going to be last to leave. But then I'm thinking, this is a television show. I'm sure they can't do that, because what if we stay in there for like a really long time and there's certain dates that we got to be done by this, and like that doesn't make sense. And we really, like, we were thrown for a loop, and as you guys could see, like they put us to a vote situation. So it's like at that point we still don't know what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a crazy visual to see, like the graveyard. And I remember when we were watching the trailer, we obviously did a breakdown, and we were like, this looks like everyone's tombstone is going to be there. And lo and behold, there it is. But I really liked the visual aspect that they, I guess, created from the graveyard with all the visuals on the graves. Super cool to review the game too and kind of remind us what's happened so far, just so moving forward we kind of know, or there's reasonings behind the decisions that people make in future episodes. So I really liked how that's slowly building up storylines for everyone. But yeah, I guess you kind of mentioned walking in the graveyard. You knew it wasn't going to be an endurance challenge. Did you expect it to be the split challenge though, the $1 million split?
No, I thought we're doing the lineup, and I see that clearly Monika steps up next to me, and I'm going off of patterns here, and I'm like, okay, well, we did the strong challenge, we did the smart challenge, and smashed hearts. This has got to be another like strong challenge, and I'm like, okay, someone's not going to be buried here. Maybe it's going to be a time thing. I'm a big dude. I was like, if anyone's going to be here that's going to have to dig everybody up, it's got to be me, not Monika. No knock on Monika. She can hang from a pole, but she can't lift as much as me. That's for sure. I'm like, guys, like, I got to do this. Like I'm gonna do this for you guys again. I step up when Jimmy says go, I see red. Let's get it. And yeah, we're just sitting there, and they all vote for me. And I'm thinking, okay, they're about to get buried now. And again, no clarification of what's going on. They get fully buried, and then Jimmy looks at me. This wasn't on there, but he goes, you might be a millionaire in like 10 minutes, right? And I was like,
wow.
what? And then they announce it on the show for what it was, and me and Jimmy go to take a walk. But then I'm also thinking too, I see the cubes. If you could see the background of the cubes. And this would have been so interesting. This would have been crazy. Beast, if you need ideas, let me know. But I still got to compete in them. I see the freaking cubes in the background. I'm like, what if I got to take everyone's share and put it in duffel bags and move them into people's cubes? And then when they get dug up, they go to their cubes and their shares in the cubes. I'm like, what if? And I thought that was the case. And then they were like, nah, this is just, you're going to pick everybody one by one and you get first dibs, but then you got to go dig everybody up in the order you want and all that. So a lot of pressure again. I'm the one that probably had the most pressure on them this entire season. I've had hard decision after hard decision. It seems to be every episode now. And yeah, I'm sitting there on $1 million and I have it right there for me again. And I got Chandler talking to me and Jimmy talking to me. And yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, it seems like $1 million keeps finding its way to you. So very interesting.
Yeah.
In the edit, we see Jack suggest you to be captain. Did you expect him to be the one to do that?
No, I knew that Jack, Tyler, August, and Brett and Corey wanted me to be captain. Here's the thing, too. I thought Catey and Hannah at this point, too, because of the conversations that we had. I thought Haiti and Hannah because of the conversations we had, and that wasn't shown. We've had conversations at the library that they wanted the protection of all of us, and we were cool with them. I met them and talked to them a lot on the island and stuff. And I know when Jeff cuffed himself to the wall, he pointed out of the cube. He said, yo, you look after them girls for me. I said, I got you, bro. I got you. So I felt like I needed to be there for them. And I told them that I would be. And when Hannah and Catey chose Monika over me, because Jimmy didn't ask about protecting a coin, he didn't say that anyone was going to be eliminated. He said, who do you trust the most? And when they did that, that kind of hurt because I was like, Monika's done nothing for trust. I've done everything for trust. And I'm getting now told that I'm not as trustworthy as Monika because you want to, quote unquote, protect a coin. That even if it was an elimination thing, why would I eliminate the person with the coin? That would make me look bad to the entire group. So yeah, they didn't line up behind me. And I'm thinking, you guys are freaking crazy. I know by default, Jim's got to go stand behind his girlfriend, but you two, that's disappointing. And I got a solid group of people that supported me and I wasn't shocked by it at all. And we'll see what happens.
Yeah. It's interesting to hear that type of divide. And I guess in a sense, this picking a captain kind of gave you clarity on who truly is on your side and gave you more confidence in your own alliance that you've had since the beginning. So in a way that benefited you, especially going into such a big decision of this game, like splitting $1 million. So
yeah,
very interesting to hear. Were you happy that you weren't getting buried alive? Like, were you just glad to not be doing that?
Oh yeah, like of course I didn't want to have to freaking go in there. I don't think anybody did. I don't think anybody was too thrilled on being buried alive. It was super, super intense, like the way that the whole like field was, and like I said, the fog and the lights and the tombstones. Yeah, I was like, I don't know. Like it just, something in me was like the same as the memory game, same as the captain's bribe on the towers. I was like, I got to step up right now. I have to do it. And I did. And it worked.
Yeah. And obviously we want to break down as much as possible what we've seen already and what you've said. In season 1, Jimmy kind of set them up and kind of said, look, no one knows how much money you're taking now. So just take as much as you want. And then come to find out, they all found out how much money you took. Knowing that information, do you feel like that kind of affected your final decision?
Nope.
Okay. You were playing your own game.
I'm gonna be me. And again, at the end of the day, I'm gonna stand on who I am, and I have no problem with telling people what I do, what I did, and what my intentions were. And I live that way in real life, and I live that way in the games. So yeah, I had no problem with being whatever I had to be.
Obviously, JC's argument is brought up about, in season 1, he took the $650K, but he didn't eliminate anybody. So did you feel like that same kind of reasoning would reign true with you if you were to take the million?
I will say, and I feel like I can say that I believed everybody at that point in time deserved to be there. And like I said in the episode, I said I feel like everyone deserves a piece of the pie. You know what I mean? So I get that nobody was going to be eliminated and all that stuff. But these decisions and what goes on in your mind again when you have that much money in front of you for the second time, I'm just thinking I don't want to look back and have any like regrets. And I'm thinking what we could possibly do in the future in the games, what we have left, how close I am with some people that are buried right now, the other people that stood against me also that was raining heavy on me. It was a lot. My mind was going like a roller coaster and it's a lot of pressure. And then again, to have Jimmy and Chandler sitting there and talking to me about everything. I was just like, oh my gosh. And I wanted to get off the million. I'm like sitting on there and I'm like, can I walk? I'm like, can I walk around? And I'm like, they're like, it's a good shot. Just give it some time. Just think about it. And I just, again, it's one of those times that it makes like the time feel like such like a blur. I was like, what did I live? What did I just do? Like, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
I've noticed that there's a lot of parallels between your game and Tawana's game so far. Both captains for the captain bribe, and then captain again for this $1 million split or steal. And I'm kind of just wondering if you noticed that parallel since you said you were a fan of season 1. Like, did you feel like you were like, oh, I'm low-key in Tawana's position in the game while you were playing?
I did, and funny enough, we're both professional wrestlers. Isn't that weird? I was like, dang, I'm really playing Twana's game right now. This is crazy. But you gotta see that it's, I mean, I thought I was in a different standpoint too, though, with my friends. I don't know if Twana at this point in time had as much people to rely on as I did. I know that she was a very, very strong figure and people pointed to her for leadership as they did with me, but I have 5 other people behind me right now in the top 10 that believe in me, rooting for me, and want to see me to do the best I could do for everybody as I've been doing the entire game. So yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy to be in that position and definitely thought about it while I was there.
Yeah, very similar storyline so far. Well, and I guess we'll find out next week if the storyline continues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't know. We don't know. So I guess, without giving any spoilers, what can we expect to see next episode, maybe the next 3 episodes? Or if you don't want to answer that, you could do what we asked Monika and describe the next episode in 3 words, whatever you want to do.
Whole lot of money.
That's a great answer.
From all your experience in the game so far, what's your biggest piece of advice to a future Beast Games player?
Show up, meet people, be genuine. All the phony stuff you're going to get caught up in. I guarantee you right now, they're going to see if you're a phony or not. Play hard, and loyalty goes a long way. And always remember that. Loyalty goes a long way. And hey, do your push-ups. Do your push-ups.
Ivy,
I gotta
do
get
your
on that.
push-ups.
Yeah, I know. I gotta get on that.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe start practicing hanging from like poles too. I don't know, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea too. Yeah, for sure. Well, I guess that brings us to the end of the conversation. Is there anything maybe you want to bring up that we didn't discuss or didn't highlight?
I think that's it. I mean, I think that we got everything pretty much covered. Yeah, the friendships, the certain challenges, all that stuff. Thank you guys for having me. I really, really appreciate it. I've been trying to do as many podcast interview things that I could do. And obviously I've been seeing your guys' stuff everywhere. And thank you guys for having me. This is freaking awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on. It was such a good conversation and added a lot of context too. And now I just want to know so bad what happens in the next episode, but I guess we're gonna have to wait for that.
Wednesday, you're going to find out.
We're going to roll out the red carpet to you. Do you want to shout out your socials or anywhere that the audience can find you?
If you're watching and you want to follow me on any social media across the board, it's my wrestling name. I don't want it to be hard to find. If you type in Nicky Mariano, because I usually go by Nicky Mariano, you'll find me. But my wrestling name is Conan. So Conan Lycan, Lycan. Conan Lycan across all platforms. Conan Lycan. Nicky Mariano. You could find me on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, preferably Instagram. I'm very active on there, but love all the fans, love all the feedback, the likes, the comments, all the love. And even if you're hating on my stuff, thanks for boosting my engagement. Appreciate y'all.
Go follow him. Go follow him. Well, that's all we have for you guys today. Make sure to go check out our other behind the scenes content of Beast Game Season 2. Like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. But until next time.
See ya.